So where are all the foreclosures? That's coming up. My name is Eli Magids. I am your charismatic yet very bald real estate advisor here in Charlotte, North Carolina and the surrounding areas of Charlotte, specializing in luxury homes, new home construction, and custom home builds. More importantly, I am your realtor with heart. I'm not trying to sell you a house, but here to help you find a home and a lifestyle that you and your family are going to love. If you think that you and I are a good fit, my contact information is down below. Also, you can pop over to my website where I have a free online guide that's going to tell you everything about Charlotte. What's the story with all the foreclosures? Well, they haven't materialized and they're not going to materialize. And we're going to find out why. So from a publication, Keeping Current Matters, which is sent over to realtors around the country, their headline is, "Why There Won't Be a Flood of Foreclosures Coming to the Market." Just quickly going through, with the rapid shift that's happening in the housing market this year, some people are raising concerns that we're destined for a repeat of the crash we saw in 2008, but the truth, there are many key differences between what's happening today and the bubble in the early 2000s. One of the reasons this isn't like the last time is that the number of foreclosures in the market is much lower now. And here's a look why. Not as many homeowners are in trouble this time. After the last housing crash, over 9 million households lost their homes due to foreclosure, short sale, or because they gave it back to the bank. Over 9 million. That was in large part because of the more relaxed lending standards where people could take out mortgages they ultimately could not afford. Those lending practices led to a wave of distressed properties, which made their way into the market and caused home values to plummet. But today, revised lending standards have led to more qualified buyers. As a result, there are fewer homeowners who are behind on their mortgages. Marina Walsh, Vice President of the Mortgage Bankers Association, says, for the second quarter in a row, the mortgage delinquency rate fell to its lowest level since the Mortgage Bankers Association survey began in 1979, declining to 3.45%. Foreclosure starts and loans in the process of foreclosure also dropped in the third quarter to levels further below their historical averages. While you may have seen recent stories about the number of foreclosures rising today, context is important. During the pandemic, many homeowners were able to pause their mortgage payments using the forbearance program. The program gave homeowners facing difficulties extra time to get their finances in order, and in many cases, work out a plan with their lender. With that program, many were concerned it would result in a wave of foreclosures coming to the market. That fear did not materialize. Data from the New York Fed shows there are still fewer foreclosures happening today than before the pandemic. And here's a graph just to show us where the foreclosures were in 2008, 2009, 2010. Pandemic, 2018, 19, we're still at a lower number of foreclosures than before the pandemic. So that means that there are more foreclosures now compared to last year when foreclosures were paused, but the number is still well below what the housing market has seen in a more typical year like 2017 through 2019. And most importantly, the number we're seeing now is still far below the number we saw during the market crash. The big takeaway, don't let a headline in the news mislead you. While foreclosures are up year over year, historical context is essential to understanding the full picture. Most homeowners have enough equity to sell their homes. Many homeowners today have enough equity to sell their homes instead of facing foreclosure. Due to rapidly rising prices over the last 2 years, the average homeowner has gained record amounts of equity in their home. And if they stayed in their homes even longer, they may have even more equity than they realize. An economist says homeowners have very high levels of tappable home equity today, providing a cushion to withstand potential price declines and also preventing house distress from turning into a foreclosure. The result will likely be more of a foreclosure trickle than a tsunami. Another report explains only about 214,800 homeowners were facing possible foreclosure in the second quarter of 2022, or just 0.4% of the 58.2 million outstanding mortgages in the U.S. Of those facing foreclosure, about 195,400 of them, or 91%, had at least some equity built up in their homes. Bottom line, if you see headlines about the increasing number of foreclosures today, remember context is important. While it's true that the number of foreclosures is higher now than it was last year, foreclosures are still well below pre-pandemic years. So I just want to reiterate, only 0.4% of those with outstanding loans have the potential for falling into foreclosure, and of those, 91% have positive equity in their homes to cover them should there be an issue. So the great foreclosure tsunami predicted during the COVID times is not going to happen. If you're looking for a home in the Charlotte metro area, either a luxury resale, a custom home, or a new build, and you think we're a good fit, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and until we see each other again, next time.